It's Chinese once again in the sartorial kitchen. Kicking things off, it's a General Tso's chicken, my tempura battered chicken tossed in a sweet and spicy sauce. Next, I'm doing a vegetable stir fry that I'm also going to be tossing in that same sauce, and I'm serving it with white rice. So why don't you pull up a chair and dine with me? Everybody, we are at the store once again. So, you know, I love diving into Asian cuisine. So I thought, let's do something this season. And I came up with General Tso's chicken, as you got from the title, hopefully. Well, I have a lot of what I need at home already to make this sauce. But I just need to pick up one thing, and that is oyster sauce. And here we go right here. Perfect. Now let's get the rest of our ingredients. Well, that's it for everything I need. I will see you guys back in the kitchen. Welcome back, everybody. I've returned from the store. I have all my ingredients laid out for another Chinese feast. This time it is General Tso's chicken, as I'm sure you gathered from the title screen. And right now I'm starting on my batter for the chicken. Alright, so that is 1 egg. I'm going to give that a little whisk before I move on to my dry ingredients. It's, we're going to use some cornstarch here, 3/4 cup. Sounds like a lot, but I want this to be nice and crispy, but it's also going to be very airy and tender. And just kind of, that's good. I'm going to level that off into here. I'm going to make sure I have an exact measurement. That goes right in there. Awesome. And then I also need some flour. I need 1/4 cup of flour. And a few more things here. Some baking powder. That's going to help with the lightness of the batter. It's going to kind of rise as it cooks. And then you're going to get just that nice pillowy kind of texture. Beautiful. And then I want to season it with a little salt and a little pepper. Chicken is naturally very bland, so you want to make sure it has lots of seasoning. So I'm doing about 1.5 teaspoons of salt and about 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Just to give it a little kick. Now you're probably wondering, what is General Tso's chicken? So it's basically, it's like a fried chicken, tempura chicken. And then it has a sweet and sour, or sweet and spicy kind of sauce to it. I'm not going to make mine as spicy because, as you know, I'm a bit of a spice wimp. Okay, so I'm just adding 1/4 cup of water there. That's going to just help our batter come together. And this is just a nice little dredge. It's great for chicken, if you want to do tempura veggies. Yeah, it's just perfect for that. So the sauce, alright, now we're going to get my wok going. I want this on a medium heat. I've got my batter, I'm just kind of letting it chill out. We're doing a shallow fry, so I don't need a lot of oil, just enough to keep everything from sticking. That's probably about 1 cup of oil. You can use any kind of oil you like. I'm using canola, you like sunflower oil or vegetable oil. I just wouldn't use any kind of oil that has like a flavor to it, like an olive oil, because that's
Gonna change the flavor of the dish. And then the chicken, I've got some chicken here. This is stir-fried chicken. And I'm just gonna cut some of these pieces up. I want them all to be the same size so they cook the same. And I'm just gonna drop it right into my dredge here. Alright, that is the last of our chicken. Get rid of this guy. And I'm going to come in here and give my hands just a quick wash. Anytime you're working with raw meat, you always want to wash your hands to avoid cross-contamination. I'm going to take a little spoon here. I'm just going to come in here and toss this chicken around. I want to make sure every piece is heavily coated here in our batter. And already it's smelling good, just the batter alone. I can't wait to get this frying. Alright, our oil is good and hot. If you're not sure, you can always take a little water and splash it in that oil. We'll get rid of this spoon now. Now we got our tongs, and I'm just going to take some of this chicken. I'm going to do a little at a time and just drop it right into that oil. Listen to that sizzle. It's one of my favorite sounds in the kitchen. And be careful, you want to make sure the chicken is not clumped together when you throw it in, or else you're going to have a mess. No fun. So I'm just going to kind of separate this chicken a little bit. And again, I've got that oil on a low heat, medium to low heat. So I want that chicken to cook through before the batter gets too dark. And then I'm going to do a few batches. I'm going to do just a little. If you overcrowd your skillet, your meat is going to steam and not fry. That's no fun. So while that goes, we're going to get our rice started. Okay, I've got my rice cooker out. Alright, I've got my rice cooker out. You know me, I love using the rice cooker. It makes easy work of things. I'm going to do 2 cups of rice. We're going to be making a lot here, and I want to make sure I have leftovers. So that's 2 cups. And then you just need enough water to lightly cover the rice. Everybody talks about rinsing rice and measuring the water and all of that, and it's really, that's all it is. I do like to give it a little stir just so those starches kind of release, and that's it. And our sauce is going to do all the talking, so I'm not really going to do anything to the rice. I'm going to let it speak for itself. But I'm going to turn this on and just set it to white rice and let it go. Alright, I'm just going to come in here with my tongs and flip these over. Oh yeah, you can already see they're getting nice, beautiful golden brown color on them. Amazing. Right. While my chicken continues to cook, we're going to move on to our sauce. So like I said, it is a sweet and spicy sauce. It has quite a few components to it. I'm going to start, there's one dry ingredient. I'm going to start with that first. And that is 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. So we have 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. To that I'm going to add a half a cup of water. That's going to create a slurry of sorts, which is going to help our sauce thicken as it cooks. And then I'm going to come in here with my little whisk here. I'm just going to whisk those together just until that cornstarch is broken down. Beautiful. I need some oyster sauce. Best way to describe this is kind of like an Asian molasses. You kind of have that same consistency. It's kind of thick and syrupy. It's a little sweet, but then you have that kind of what they like to call umami flavor, which is like a kind of salt bomb, but in a good way. And one more. That's great. Then to that, I need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm just using regular soy sauce. I wouldn't use the light or the dark. I guess it really doesn't matter. It's kind of up to your preference. Okay, that's great. To this, I also need a couple tablespoons of brown sugar. That I'm just going to kind of eyeball. It's really just to add, that's going to be your sweetness. That looks pretty good there. Okay. Then we also need some rice vinegar. We need a teaspoon of that. Like I said, this has a lot of ingredients, but it's worth it because it's going to be a really flavorful, delicious sauce. All these flavors, don't ask me to explain how, but they just marry beautifully together. Okay, and I am done with that. Now I just need a few other things here. Some sesame oil, just a couple teaspoons of that. That one I'm just going to kind of eyeball. You don't want to use too much. Sesame oil is very strong. It's like a peanutty flavor. And then I also need some of my garlic here. You know me and my jarred garlic, and I want to make sure, see, I want about 2. And I want to get some of that garlic oil. It's going to go beautifully in our sauce. And we are almost there, guys. 2 more things. Ginger. If you can find fresh ginger, more power to you. I'm going to use the ground because that's what I have on hand. And just a couple tablespoons of that, just to give it a nice kind of sharp note. And then just a little crushed red pepper. I'm only going to do about a teaspoon because, like I said, I'm a bit of a spice wimp, so I don't want too much. Alright, now this chicken's looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling it out here. I've got a little, just a plate here with a paper towel on it, just to help drain the grease. We don't want greasy chicken, we want nice, flavorful chicken. What's great about the chicken being cut up so small like that is it really cooks quickly, just a few minutes on each side. Just let that batter get some nice color on it. Now that our oil is good and hot, I'm going to turn down the skillet just a little bit. And it's round 2. Come in here with some more of our chicken. Make sure we separate that. We want it to cook evenly, so we don't want it all clung together. Okay, I think that's pretty good, and then we'll have one more batch left after this comes out. This is ready. We just need to give it a little whisk. Incorporate all those ingredients. And you can see it's turned a nice, rich, brown color. So good. And that cornstarch is going to help the sauce thicken as it cooks. It's also going to help it cling to our chicken. And I'm using it on the vegetable stir fry as well. And it smells amazing. You smell all those flavors, the soy sauce, the sesame oil, the garlic. So good. Alright, that chicken's cooking down. And while it does, let's talk veggies. We're doing a stir fry. So I got some classic veggies here. First thing here is a can of baby corn. I always find baby corn interesting. The only time you really ever see it is in Asian cooking. And it's really cute and it's petite. I'm just draining the liquid off of that. I'm going to set that aside. I've got some snap peas. I thought that would be fun. And some julienne carrots. And some scallions. Alright, so the scallions I'm going to use two ways. The white parts going to go into our veggie stir fry. And then the greens I'm going to save as a garnish. So I'm just going to come in here, trim off the tops, they're no good. And just come in here and give a small dice. And just come up as far as you can. Sometimes the tippy tops are a little gnarly looking, so I'm trying to keep those. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we'll open up these peas. And we'll open up our carrots. I'm probably not going to use all of the peas and carrots. It's an awful lot here. I just want to get those ready to go. And I think the rest of our chicken is ready to come out. Oh yeah. Nice and golden brown. Beautiful. I'm going to turn the oil down some more. Exactly why I did a shallow fry. We're going to be using the skillet again to toss everything in our sauce and to cook our vegetables. So I don't want too much oil. Turn this down to a low heat. And we will get rid of this oil here. Be very careful with this. I like to do it over the sink so I can kind of watch what I'm doing here, and we're just gonna pour that right in there. Beautiful. And then you can take a towel, just a dry towel, and you can wipe off the inside of the skillet. If you've got any little bits of the batter left over. And that's going to go right back on the skillet. And then I'm going to throw in just a couple tablespoons of oil to help our veggies cook. I want them to get a little texture on them, a little tenderness. I'm going to throw in our snap peas and about half our carrots, I think. And the greens of our scallions. And the baby corn. Beautiful. I'm going to come in here with a spoon and stir this around. You can see the oil has coated these vegetables nicely. I'm going to let them cook in the oil for just a couple minutes so they start to kind of get tender and warmed. And what's great is a lot of these veggies, they can be eaten fresh. Like the snap peas, you can pick them out of the garden and just munch on them right there. I'm just going to let that kind of go a little bit. Now that that's cooked down a little, I'm going to throw in some more of my garlic. About a teaspoon. I love garlic in these. And then I'm going to throw in some seasoning here, a little salt, a little pepper, just around everything together. And we come back in with our wooden spoon here, toss everything up. I always wait to add the garlic because you know it cooks quickly and it'll burn. So, and I only added a little because we've got some garlic in our sauce there. Alright, that looks really good. You can smell all those veggies. Amazing. Alright, time for the sauce. So excited. Alright, get rid of our whisk. Thank you for coming. come in here. I'm going to dump about a 1/4 cup of our sauce. Just enough to lightly cover the veggies. I'm going to save most of this for our chicken. That's great. Okay, and then we'll come in here, give this a stir. I just want all the veggies to take on that sauce. And that is just bubbling away, and already you can see how the sauce clings to these veggies. And as it hits the heat, you can see it's kind of thickening up. It kind of bubbles and thickens. That's exactly why we add the cornstarch. I'm going to turn this down and throw a lid on here. And I'm going to let that steam for a couple more minutes so those veggies get nice and tender. And as you can see, our rice cooker is about to go off. So perfect timing there. Alright, I'm going to pull the lid off of this. Ooh, yum. Just kind of set that lid to the side. Now I'm going to come in here with a slotted spoon, and we're going to pull these veggies out. I've got a nice little bowl here for serving. When I'm doing like Asian cooking, sometimes if it's a one-pot thing, I just throw it all together. Other times I like to serve it family style. Have the veggies, the rice, the chicken on the side, and everybody can kind of do their own thing. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. Let's just make sure we get every last bit of this out of here. Beautiful, look at that, gorgeous. Okay, time for the chicken. So I'm going to throw in the rest of our sauce. I want to work quickly here because that sauce is going to thicken up quickly. I'm just going to throw in our chicken. This time you can kind of just throw it all in together since it's already cooked. And then we're going to take our wooden spoon again and just kind of toss that around. You want to get fancy, you can flip the chicken like this. I'm going to get fancy here, and I'm going to both hands here and just flip the skillet, toss it back and forth. That chicken turns over, you can see it's getting that sauce coated on it. That's exactly what we want here. That's why we use that cornstarch. It's going to help our sauce thicken up and cling to our chicken. Ooh, that looks so good. And really, the chicken's already cooked, so we're just saucing it up. That's all we're doing here. And if you want to, you can take your wooden spoon, get underneath, make sure you're getting all that sauce up, kind of stir it around until it gets a little thick. Oh guys, this just smells amazing. Alright, turn that off the heat. Start to fluff up my rice and we will be ready to eat. Okay, I've got another bowl here for the chicken. I'm just gonna slide it right into here. So good. Oh no. There we go. Oh, amazing. Looks like we lost one. It happens. Now let's get our rice out. Seen me make rice before in here, but I just want to let you see here in that rice. Oh, it's beautiful. And you just take a fork and just kind of, I start from the sides and work my way in and just kind of come up with it. And it just gets nice and fluffy. And we can turn that off now. That rice will stay good and hot for a while, but I really just need enough for me for now, and the rest we'll put up for leftovers. I'm gonna come in here and get some of this rice. I'm just gonna throw it kind of to the side. I want to leave some room for the veggies and everything. beautiful. Then we're gonna grab some of this chicken here and just kind of, I like to kind of set it on top of the rice. And then our veggies. Just come in here and get a nice serving of the veggies. Make sure I've got everything in here. So good. Alright, so I've got my rice, my veggies, my chicken, and then I'm going to come in here and just garnish with a little of that green onion. And I would say we are ready to taste. General says stir fry. Now doesn't that look amazing? So I'm just going to come in here, get some of that rice, although we don't really need to talk about the rice, it's just white rice. Listen to that crunch. So the batter on the chicken, you can hear that, you get a little texture, but it's still nice and soft and airy. Chicken is nice and moist. Just the right amount of temp on that chicken. And that sauce. Immediately, I get kind of the salty notes of the soy sauce and the oyster sauce. Then, on the back of the palate, you get that sweetness. From the brown sugar, you get the acidity of the rice vinegar and that little kind of nuttiness of the peanut oil. And just a slight bit of heat from the red pepper flake. Now if you want it spicier, by all means, throw in more of the pepper flake, maybe throw in a little sriracha if you like, but like I said, I'm a spice wimp, so we just went a little light on that. And then I want to come in here and try these veggies here. Nice crunch there. So it's great here. The veggies are nice and tender, but you're still getting nice texture like you would from eating them raw. And we didn't do as much sauce on the veggies. I wanted the veggies to kind of speak for themselves, but you've got just enough there just to make them interesting, give them something a little different. So good. So I'm going to finish up here, but I want to thank you guys once again for joining me in the kitchen. As always, like and subscribe at the bottom, hit me up in the comment section, and until next time, bon appetit.